You've been spending years trying to control your emotions through willpower, feeling guilty every time you explode or show vulnerability. Buddha taught that this constant struggle against our feelings is exactly what keeps us trapped in emotional suffering. There's a completely different way to relate to your emotions that not only brings inner peace, but automatically generates genuine respect from people around you. When you learn to be the calm observer of your emotional states, instead of being dominated by them, you develop a magnetic presence that everyone feels, even without understanding why. Tonight, you're going to discover how to transform your relationship with emotions once and for all. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment what part of the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Have you ever wondered why people work so hard to hide how they feel? Many people believe that they must always appear happy and strong, even when they do not feel that way inside. They think that showing sadness, anger, or fear means something is wrong with them. So they try to hold these emotions inside at any cost. If you have ever told yourself, "No one can know I feel this way," you are not alone. This idea is everywhere. From the time we are very young, many of us hear messages that say we should be happy or calm no matter what happens to us. Some people learn from parents, teachers, friends, or even from things they see on television that real strength means never crying or never getting upset. They may remember moments when adults told them to be brave or do not show weakness. These messages remain in our minds, shaping how we deal with our feelings today. Because of this, many people feel pressure to act as if nothing ever bothers them. They want to be liked, respected, and trusted by others. They may believe that if they let themselves cry, or if they show anger or fear, other people will not accept them. This becomes like an invisible rule in their minds. If I want to be strong or loved, I must not let anyone see my real feelings. We do not always notice how this rule makes us tired or stressed. It just seems normal because most people around us are acting the same way. But what does it mean to control emotions? Many times people think it means to push away or hide feelings like sadness, anger, or worry. They try not to admit these feelings to themselves or to others. For example, someone may be very sad because something important in their life has changed. Maybe a friend moved away or they lost a job. But instead of talking about the sadness or letting themselves feel it, they tell themselves to be strong. They try to smile and act as if nothing is wrong. Or if they feel angry because something was unfair, they might decide not to talk about it. Instead, they keep the anger inside and try hard to look calm. They hope this will make things better or keep people from thinking badly about them. This kind of emotional control is practiced everywhere. It shows up at home, at school, at work, and even in friendly conversations. Sometimes it is clear. Someone may suddenly get quiet or walk away when they are upset. Other times, it is hidden. People may pretend to listen or smile, but inside they feel very different. They may think angry or sad thoughts, even while laughing on the outside. There is a reason why so many people act this way. Most do not want to be judged. No one wants others to say they are weak or that they are making things worse. It can be very scary to think that your real feelings might cause others to leave you, laugh at you, or think less of you. A lot of people think that it is better to look tough or calm than to risk being open about their emotions. Sometimes they feel uncomfortable even admitting emotions to themselves. They believe that if they ignore a feeling for long enough, maybe it will go away by itself. But what really happens when people try to hide their emotions? At first, it might seem to work. People may not notice when you feel sad or angry. Maybe you feel proud because you did not cry, or no one saw your fear. You might think, "I am in control." It can even feel as if hiding emotions is the correct thing to do because it keeps things quiet on the outside. Over time, however, something different happens. Pushing feelings down does not make them truly disappear. Instead, they stay inside. Sometimes they become even stronger. The sadness, anger, or fear may start to affect how you feel about yourself. You might begin to feel stressed for long hours or have a sense that you are not really yourself. It may become tiring to keep up the act. Some people feel exhausted from pretending. Others notice they get headaches, feel tense, or have trouble sleeping. The effort to control emotions on the outside slowly starts to use up a lot of energy. Later, these hidden feelings might surprise you. A person who tries never to show anger may find themselves suddenly shouting at someone for a small mistake. Someone who hides sadness might end up feeling very alone and start to cry when they are by themselves. Afterward, they may feel guilty or think they have failed because they let their real self show. They might say to themselves, "I cannot even hide my own feelings. I am weak." The rule they tried to follow, never showing emotion, now feels impossible. This can lead to feeling even worse, as if hiding feelings is a test that they keep failing. Trying to control emotions by hiding them also affects relationships with others. Friends and family may notice that something does not feel right. They may not know exactly what is wrong, but they sense that you are not being fully open. They may feel distant or worry about you. This can create more loneliness, making you feel misunderstood or out of place. At work, people who always act calm or happy might find that others feel awkward around them. It can become hard to connect and work together. When everyone is hiding how they truly feel, trust does not grow. Why do so many people keep choosing to hide their feelings then? The answer is fear. The fear of not being accepted, of being hurt or left alone. The fear that emotions are too big, too messy, or too much for others to handle. There might be a belief that only some feelings are okay, while other feelings need to stay hidden. For example, happiness and excitement are often shown openly, but sadness or hurt gets hidden. People sometimes even judge their own emotions as good or bad. This kind of thinking is very strong. It shapes how you think about yourself every day. If you believe that sadness equals weakness, then every time you feel sad, you judge yourself. If you think that showing hurt will make people think less of you, you hide your pain. These rules are learned, often when you are very young, and can be hard to notice. Sometimes you might not even know where these ideas came from, but they work in the background, guiding your choices. When you live this way, always hiding or judging your emotions, it becomes harder to understand what you truly feel. You might get mixed up, not knowing if you are really okay or just pretending. Life can start to feel flat and colorless. Even moments of joy become less strong because you are used to not fully feeling what comes up inside. You might also become stricter and less understanding towards others, judging them for showing emotions that you try to keep hidden. Understanding this idea about emotional control is the first important step. It is the key to seeing why so many people feel troubled by their emotions. When you look closely, you begin to see how these beliefs affect everything. The way you talk, the way you act, even the way you think about others and about yourself is shaped by these ideas about not showing feelings. Every time you hold back a tear or try not to speak about something that hurts, it is because of this hidden rule inside you. This rule might feel safe, but over time, it can make your life more tense and lonely. You might ask, is it wrong to want to look strong? Do I have to share every feeling with everyone? The answer is no. Clearly, there are times when you may choose not to show certain feelings. Sometimes, in the middle of a busy day or during an important event, you may decide to hold your feelings until you are in a private place. This is a natural part of living with others. The problem does not come from picking the right time to talk. The real problem starts when you feel that you can never admit what you truly feel, not even to yourself. When hiding becomes a habit that you cannot stop, life starts to feel heavy and hard. Being aware of these hidden rules is a new beginning. Once you notice them, you can start to question them. Instead of asking yourself, how can I hide this feeling? You can ask, why do I feel this way? Where did this belief come from? When you do this, you begin to understand yourself in a new way. You notice that these ideas are not facts but learned thoughts. They are habits that you picked up from others or from your past experiences. They might have helped you once, but now they make life more difficult. Some people worry that if they stop hiding emotions, everything will fall apart. They think that if they let themselves cry, the sadness will never end. If they show anger, they might hurt someone or make mistakes. But in truth, feelings usually become less scary when you let yourself notice them. Hiding them often makes them bigger and harder to handle. When you give yourself permission to feel, you start to understand that sadness and anger, like all feelings, come and go. They are not as dangerous as they seemed at first. Another common worry is that if you show how you feel, other people will judge or leave you. Sometimes people may not respond kindly, but often you will find that honesty brings people closer. When someone shares their real feelings, it helps others relax. They see that you are a real person, just like them. You do not have to be perfect all the time. In fact, people often trust and respect those who are honest about their emotions in a calm way. They feel safe with someone who is real and balanced, not with someone who never shows how they feel. Letting go of the need to hide does not mean you have to talk about every feeling all the time. It means being honest with yourself about what you are experiencing. You begin to notice when you are trying to hide something inside. You learn to allow yourself to feel, even if you do not want to show it to everyone. This small change brings a big sense of relief and makes you feel more alive and whole. When you no longer believe that hiding feelings is a must, you also become more open to understanding other people. You see that everyone has emotions, even if they do not talk about them. You stop judging others for showing fear, anger, or sadness. Instead, you begin to listen more deeply and respond with patience. When someone is upset, you are no longer afraid. You understand, because you have felt the same before. Relationships grow stronger this way. People know they can talk to you and be honest, and that you will not judge them for how they feel. What is most important is the effect this new way of thinking has on your own life. When you stop pushing your feelings away, you start to accept yourself as you really are. You see that you do not have to work so hard to look strong or perfect. You can feel whatever comes up and still be okay. You start to trust yourself more, knowing that you can handle anything. Life becomes easier and more peaceful because you are not using all your energy to pretend. Understanding emotional control is not about getting rid of feelings. It is not about being happy all the time or never feeling troubled. Instead, it is about seeing clearly what is happening inside you and not being afraid of it. When you do this, you find a new kind of strength. It is a quiet strength that comes from being honest and calm with yourself. In your daily life, this means you begin to make different choices. Instead of asking, "How can I hide this feeling?" you ask, "How can I understand what I am feeling?" You learn to give space for each emotion without pushing it away or making it bigger. You notice when you are sad, angry, or worried and allow yourself to feel it for a short time. Then you see how the feeling changes and becomes less strong. You begin to trust that feelings will come and go on their own. This new way of understanding takes away the pressure to always be happy or strong. You do not have to act for others or hide from yourself. You are free to feel, and you are also free to let go of feelings when they pass. It is a gentle way of living. It makes you kinder to yourself and to others. As you keep noticing and questioning the rules about emotions that have guided your life, you will start to see changes. You may feel less tired and more free. You might notice that you laugh and relax more easily. You start to enjoy being yourself just as you are. When someone asks how you are doing, you do not have to hide. You can answer with honesty and kindness, both to others and to yourself. Life opens up, one feeling at a time. When you begin to understand your emotions and stop trying to hide them all the time, you may notice something different happening inside you. Life can start to feel lighter, but at the same time, you might realize just how much energy you used to spend trying to keep your feelings out of sight. You might even notice that some pain, tiredness, or discomfort is still present. even if you are now more open with yourself. This is because hiding your real feelings for so long has a cost that is not always visible right away. Many people do not see how much their efforts to control and hide their emotions affect their bodies and minds. This hidden cost can slowly take away your peace and happiness before you even see what is happening. Imagine how much energy it takes to hold a heavy bag in your hand for a whole day. Now, think about using the same energy to hold back your tears every time you feel sad, or to pretend that you are not angry even when something hurts you deeply. Every time you push away real feelings, you use up your strength and attention. Your body gets tense, your breathing changes, your thoughts become busy and distracted. You may try to focus on other things to escape what you feel inside, but the emotions do not disappear. They wait, quietly, to come back when you are tired or alone. Every day, many people tell themselves not to cry, not to look upset, or not to worry others by showing what they feel. They believe this is the right thing to do. They hold their true feelings back for hours, days, and sometimes for many years. Over time, hiding these emotions becomes a habit, almost like a second nature. The mind learns that if sadness shows up, it must be stopped. If anger comes, it must be covered by a calm face and a quiet voice. But all this takes a lot of work, even if you do not notice it. This work never truly ends, and it can make you feel tired all the time. Some people start to notice that they feel tired, even when they have rested. This tiredness is not always because of work or lack of sleep. It comes from carrying unspoken feelings inside for a very long time. You may notice a kind of heaviness in your heart or a tension in your body that never quite seems to leave. Your breath may feel shallow, or you may find it hard to relax, even when you are sitting in a quiet room. These signs are not always clear, but they show that holding back feelings is taking energy from you little by little each day. For some, this hidden cost becomes even greater. Stress begins to build up. You may feel anxious for no clear reason or become angry over small things that would not have mattered before. Your mind is busy, always thinking about the past or worrying about the future. It is hard to be present or enjoy the simple things in life. Some people notice that they get headaches, stomach aches, or other pains much more often. Doctors may not find a clear reason, but the stress from holding back feelings can show up in the body in many different ways. As this stress grows, a person can become more sensitive. They may start to feel alone, even when they are with friends or family. They may feel misunderstood because no one knows their real feelings. It can be hard to ask for help because they do not want to look weak or be a burden to others. This experience is not rare. It happens to many people who try very hard to keep emotions locked away. There are also times when emotions cannot be hidden anymore. If sadness, anger, or fear builds up for too long, it begins to look for ways to come out. Someone who never shows sadness may suddenly break down in tears. Someone who always hides their anger may shout or become upset over something small. These moments can be confusing and even frightening. The person might wonder what is wrong with them or feel ashamed for not being able to stay in control. They may judge themselves very harshly, telling themselves that they have failed again. But in truth, this is not a failure. It is a natural response. Emotions are a part of life, and they cannot be locked away forever. If you hold them back too long, they come out in ways you do not expect and at times you do not choose. This can make people feel even more alone and unhappy. They might become scared of their own feelings, thinking that there is something dangerous or shameful inside them. Sometimes people try to find ways to numb these feelings with outside solutions. Some may eat too much or too little. Others may watch hours of television or scroll through their phones for a long time. Some may use alcohol or other substances to escape the pain inside. These ways may provide brief comfort, but often they create new problems in the body and the mind. None of these things truly make the emotions go away. The feelings are only covered for a short while, and then they return, sometimes stronger than before. As the cost of hiding feelings grows, relationships also begin to suffer. When you do not share even a small part of your true self, other people can feel distant from you. A close friend or family member may worry because they sense that you are not telling them your real feelings. It can be hard to speak honestly because you have forgotten what it is like to talk about real things without fear. The more you hold back, the harder it is to trust others, and the lonelier you may feel. Sometimes this can make small arguments grow into big problems. People may misunderstand you or think that you do not care about them. In your work or at school, hiding feelings can make things worse too. When you pretend to be calm and happy all the time, others may expect this from you always. They might not notice when you are under too much stress or when you are quietly struggling. They may give you more and more to do, thinking you can handle it. But inside, you may feel tired or even defeated. It becomes almost impossible to ask for help because you have been acting as if everything is fine for so long. This way of living makes it hard to focus or be creative. When your mind is busy pushing down feelings, it cannot pay full attention to new ideas or new tasks. You may forget things more often or find it hard to solve problems. You may feel like you cannot keep up with life's pace, and each day may feel heavier than the last. There are also dangers for your health. Scientists and doctors have seen that holding back strong feelings, especially for many years, can lead to long-term stress in the body. This stress can affect your heart, your immune system, and even cause pain that does not go away. People who hide their emotions sometimes feel sick, especially when nothing seems to be wrong. They may not understand why they get ill so often, or why they feel so tired and low. It can be surprising because these signs come slowly and are easy to ignore in the beginning. Another hidden cost is what happens to your own mind. When you judge your feelings and always try to stop them, you may forget how to listen to yourself. Your real voice, the one that feels happiness and pain, becomes quiet and small. Over time, it is easy to believe that emotions are bad or dangerous. You may stop trusting your own thoughts and wishes. This can make it harder to make good choices because you do not know what you really want or need. Many people try to be perfect. They think that by showing only calm or happy emotions, they will be liked or accepted. They hope that others will think well of them if they never show pain or anger. But pretending to be perfect only brings more pressure. Life becomes a daily test where you must always pass by hiding your true feelings. This effort takes away the chance to connect with others in a real way. It is a lonely road. You might look for happiness by working harder, trying new things, or making changes in your life. But as long as you keep hiding your real emotions, true happiness does not come. There is always a wall between you and yourself, and between you and others. No matter how much you try, the empty feeling can stay. There is another way. Rather than spending all your energy hiding from feelings, you can choose to notice them as they are. You can give yourself permission to feel, even if it is only for a few minutes at a time. This act is gentle, but very powerful. Over time, it allows the energy that went into hiding feelings to come back to you. You feel stronger, more rested, and more at peace with yourself. The first step is to see what hiding feelings costs you, both inside and outside. When you become aware of this cost, you can start to make small changes. You may decide to take breaks during your day, to notice your breathing, or to ask yourself quietly, what am I feeling right now? At first, this can seem strange or hard. Years of hiding can make any feeling seem distant or confusing, but little by little, simply noticing that a feeling is present helps you understand yourself better. Telling someone you trust can also help. You do not need to share everything all at once. A small truth, said in a simple way, can begin to heal the distance that hiding has caused. When you open up, even with one person, you show yourself that your feelings are not dangerous. They are just a part of being human. With time, as you feel more comfortable, larger changes will happen naturally. You might notice that you can breathe deeper, that your body feels lighter, or that your sleep improves. You notice that you can laugh and enjoy things more easily. Your friendships become warmer and closer, even if you only share a little bit more than before. The heavy feeling in your heart starts to soften. Some people worry that feeling emotions too strongly will bring pain, or that they will never be able to handle what comes up. But hiding brings a much heavier pain, the pain of loneliness, stress, and constant effort. By allowing yourself to feel in gentle ways, you actually protect your mind and body from the harm caused by long-term hiding. It is important to be patient with yourself. If you have lived for many years hiding what you really feel, it will take time and care to do things in a new way. There is no hurry. Each small step helps to bring ease and health back to your life. When you start opening to your real feelings, you learn that emotions move and change by themselves. Nothing stays the same forever inside you. A feeling that seemed too hard to face yesterday may look smaller today. Picture how calm can grow when you stop spending all your strength pushing away what is natural. You give yourself the chance to know real comfort and peace. Bit by bit, as you notice and accept your feelings, you also see that others have the same struggles. Everyone tries to hide sometimes. Everyone knows what it is to feel alone, afraid, or unsure. This understanding brings kindness, not just for yourself, but also for the people around you. Your heart becomes gentler. You feel less separate from the world. Understanding the cost of hiding emotions does not mean blaming yourself or feeling guilty for what you did in the past. It means seeing the truth of what happens when you use your energy to push feelings away. This truth can be the start of a new way of life, one where you have more energy for things that really matter and where joy is easier to find. Simple steps, taken with patience, lead to healing. Instead of hiding your tears, you might let yourself sit quietly and notice what makes you sad. Rather than pretending anger is not there, you might acknowledge to yourself, "I feel angry right now," without having to act on it. If you feel afraid, you can admit it silently, remembering that fear is a normal part of everyone's life. Each time you allow a feeling to be present, you take away some of the power it has over you. You do not have to act out every emotion, and you do not have to talk about everything you feel. But giving even a small space to what is real inside you opens the door to rest, trust, and happiness. Step by step, your body, heart, and mind begin to heal from the cost of hiding. The peace you used to look for everywhere else can start to grow naturally inside you. As you move through your days with a little more honesty and a little less fear, you discover how much strength and gentleness are already inside you. And you realize that this gentle way of facing your emotions is something you can always return to no matter what happens in life. When you begin to open space for your emotions and become more honest with yourself, you may start to wonder if there is another way to handle difficult feelings without adding more pain. Many people spend a lifetime hiding or fighting with their emotions, believing there is no other path. For centuries, people have looked for answers to questions about suffering and how to find real peace. Long ago, a teacher named the Buddha shared ideas about emotions that are still helpful today for people everywhere. The Buddha was born more than 2,000 years ago. He spent many years thinking about why people suffer and what can bring true happiness. He saw that everyone has struggles in life, no matter where they live or who they are. He saw that feelings like sadness, anger, fear, and worry visit everyone. These emotions are natural. Every person has them from time to time. No one can escape them, not even the most successful, rich, or powerful people in the world. The Buddha understood that pain and difficult feelings are part of being alive. One important lesson the Buddha shared is that fighting your emotions only leads to more suffering. Many people, when they feel sadness, anger, or fear, believe they must push those feelings away or pretend they do not exist. They use a lot of energy to do this. The Buddha saw that this habit does not make pain disappear. In fact, he taught that resistance makes things worse inside. The more you try to avoid a feeling, the more it grows and becomes heavy on your heart. The pain stays there, just under the surface. Instead of suggesting that people should get rid of their feelings, the Buddha encouraged a gentle, accepting way of dealing with emotions. He taught that it is normal to feel pain and there is no need to be ashamed. Emotions move through your life the way rain and sunshine come and go. They do not mean there is something wrong with you. The Buddha saw that every feeling arises for a reason. Each one has its own time to appear and its own time to fade away. One of the simplest but most powerful things the Buddha taught is to be aware of your feelings just as they are. This means noticing what you feel without calling it good or bad. If you are sad, you let yourself know, I am feeling sad right now. If you are angry, you simply recognize, this is anger in me. You do not need to push it away or hold on to it. You just see it, like noticing a sound or a color. With this gentle observation, you stop fighting with yourself. You accept that feelings are present and let them be for a while. This way, you give space for emotions to move naturally. The Buddha used a special word for this kind of awareness. He called it mindfulness. To be mindful simply means to pay attention with kindness. You watch your feelings with honesty, not with fear or judgment. You see what is happening and let it stay for a moment without needing to change it right away. The Buddha knew that when people are mindful, they become less trapped by their feelings. They feel safer and more at ease inside. This gentle approach to emotions can bring great relief. When you stop fighting with yourself, your body and mind begin to relax. You do not need to use your energy pretending or hiding anymore. When sadness comes, you know it is just a feeling, painful but not permanent. When anger arises, you let it pass through you, knowing that it will not last forever. When you feel afraid, you notice it, and you also remember that you are more than your fear. These feelings come and go, but you remain. The Buddha also explained that pain in life is not always something you can control. Everyone will lose things they care about. Everyone faces challenges, changes, illness, and old age. Some moments will bring joy, others will bring tears. The problem is not the feelings themselves, but what happens when you try to deny or fight with them. That battle adds stress and makes you feel alone. By simply noticing that pain and sadness are present, you become more honest with yourself. You can see the true shape of your emotions and stop making them into bigger problems. Sometimes people misunderstand the teachings of the Buddha. They believe that he was telling everyone to get rid of their feelings, or to always feel peaceful and calm. This is not what he taught. He did not say that strong feelings are wrong. Instead, he said that it is wise to pay attention to your feelings and learn from them. If sadness comes, you can look kindly at it and learn that it is only a small part of your life. If anger appears, you can see what caused it and be gentle with yourself instead of feeling bad or guilty. In this way, you can understand yourself better and act with more care toward others. Often, when people try to avoid a feeling, it becomes larger and stays longer. The Buddha saw that if you keep pushing away your pain, it eventually comes back even stronger. Some people end up feeling hopeless or trapped by their emotions, but if you allow yourself to feel what is there, the emotion will rise and it will change. This is the nature of all feelings. No emotion remains the same from moment to moment. By practicing gentle observation, you learn that you can handle whatever comes your way. The Buddha gave simple tools to help people with this process. One tool he often spoke about was paying attention to your body. When an emotion arrives, you might notice how your body feels. You may feel a tightness in your chest, or your breathing may change. If you just notice these changes, without wanting them to stop, something starts to shift. The emotion has been seen and accepted, and it begins to move on its own. Sometimes this takes a few minutes or sometimes longer, but you begin to feel lighter inside. Another tool the Buddha gave is to notice your thoughts without believing everyone. Sometimes, when an emotion is strong, thoughts come up quickly. You might think, this will never end, or I cannot handle this. The Buddha taught that you can watch these thoughts just as you watch your feelings. You do not have to agree with them or tell yourself stories. You just notice, that is a sad thought, or that is a worried thought. When you do this, you become less caught up in the stories and more calm within yourself. By teaching people to pay attention without judgment or blame, the Buddha helped many to find peace. He said that feelings move like waves. When you make space for them, they rise and then they fall away. You do not need to do anything special to make them disappear. You simply give them your gentle attention, and they change naturally. Even strong pain loses some of its power when you stop hiding from it. The Buddha's teachings also include compassion, which means treating yourself and others with kindness. When you feel strong emotions, you can place a hand on your heart and breathe deeply. You can tell yourself, this is hard and it's okay to feel this way. This small act of comfort can make a big difference. Compassion allows your heart to soften, even in the middle of pain. As you practice mindfulness and compassion, you see that emotions connect all people. Everyone feels joy, sorrow, irritation, and love. Everyone knows what it is like to feel lost, confused, or upset. When you understand this, you feel less alone. You start to see the world with more understanding. You are able to reach out to others with patience and care because you know what it is like to struggle inside. This way of living brings balance. You still feel sadness, anger, happiness, and all the other emotions that come with being alive. But you are not thrown around by them. You become steady, like a rock on the ground. You know that each feeling is only temporary. You do not have to act out every feeling, and you do not have to hide it either. You simply feel it, watch it, learn from it, and let it go. Sometimes people think that being calm with emotions means being cold or uncaring, but the truth is very different. When you are gentle with yourself, you become warmer and kinder to the people around you. You do not lose your heart. In fact, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and others. You become a better friend, a better family member, a better person in your community. Children can also learn from these teachings. When a child is upset, instead of telling them to stop crying or be quiet, you can help them notice what they are feeling. You might say, "You look sad right now. It is okay to be sad." This helps children trust their own feelings. When you do this for yourself, you set an example for others to do the same. In difficult times, the Buddha's way can help most of all. If life brings loss or pain, you can remind yourself, these are just feelings. They are part of life, and they will pass. You can find a place of safety inside, where you watch your emotions rather than fear them. The pain may not disappear right away, but you do not make it larger by fighting it. You give yourself patience, and you let each feeling move through in its own time. Practicing the Buddha's teachings is not something that has to be perfect. You do not need to be calm at every moment or to notice every feeling right away. Every time you remember, you can pause and just ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? This gentle question is the heart of mindfulness. There is no correct answer. You may feel many things at once: sadness, confusion, hope, or even emptiness. All feelings are welcome in your awareness. Nothing must be hidden or changed instantly. Over the years, many people have found great freedom from following these simple ideas. They discovered that the effort to hide, fight, or control emotions always leads to more pain. The choice to notice, accept, and allow feelings to change on their own does not mean giving up. It is a brave way to live. This choice makes life a little easier and helps you trust yourself more and more with each day. When emotion is handled with care, it becomes a teacher, not an enemy. If anger comes, you can use it to see what matters most to you. If sadness comes, you can let yourself rest and maybe ask for help. If joy is present, you can let yourself enjoy it without feeling guilty. Every feeling can bring you closer to yourself if you meet it with kind attention. You do not have to make big changes all at once. With each small moment, each time you notice and accept a feeling, you become a little more peaceful inside. Your mind becomes clearer, your body relaxes, and your heart grows softer. This is true strength, the strength to be honest and gentle even when things are hard. Others may see the change in you, even if you do not say anything out loud. They may notice that you are steady, kind, and not so easily upset by life's problems. People may feel calm just by being with you. They trust that you will listen with care because you listen to yourself with the same kindness. When you remember that every feeling comes and goes, just as the Buddha taught, you discover that you do not need to be afraid of your own heart. There is nothing inside you that is too much, too painful, or too difficult. Everything can be seen, accepted, and allowed to change in its own time. The Buddha's way is simple, natural, and open to everyone. It does not matter who you are or how your life has been. You can begin at any time, in any place, with nothing more than a kind breath and a gentle look at what you feel right now. You grow in understanding and peace by walking this path in small steps, letting go of the need to be perfect and letting yourself be fully human. In doing so, you find a deep, lasting sense of peace, knowing that whatever happens inside you, you have the ability to face it with gentleness and care. When you begin to use a kind and honest approach to your emotions, something starts to change in how you experience difficult feelings. You notice that you do not have to fight with every emotion or pretend to be calm all the time. This gentle, accepting way may feel new or strange at first, especially if you spent many years trying to push your feelings away. But with each moment you pay attention, you see that emotions are just natural parts of being alive. They come and go, and you are able to simply watch them instead of being trapped by them. There is an important difference between fighting your feelings and observing them. Many people are used to battling their emotions. They believe that when anger, sadness, or fear comes, the only thing to do is to push these feelings away or hide them. They may judge themselves as weak or bad for having certain emotions. This creates a lot of pain because it adds extra stress on top of what you already feel. You are not only sad, you are now upset with yourself for being sad. You are not just angry, you are also blaming yourself for not being able to stay calm. This habit of fighting with your emotions can make your life much heavier. Observing your feelings is a very different way. To observe means to watch what is happening inside without trying to change it right away. You do not have to like every feeling that comes, but you allow yourself to notice it. You pay attention without judging or blaming. If you feel fear, you simply say, "Fear is here right now." If you are sad, you can notice, "Sadness is present right now." This simple noticing lets you step back from your feelings and gives you space to breathe. When you observe your emotions, you do not have to act on every feeling. You do not have to argue with your thoughts, and you do not have to try to make your emotions disappear. You simply pay attention to what is happening in your body and your mind. You may notice your heart beating faster, your breath changing, or your body feeling tense. You might see that your mind is busy or slow, that your hands are shaking, or that tears want to come. You give these signs your gentle attention without trying to fix them. This is what it means to observe. It is natural for your mind to start judging as soon as a strong feeling appears, but you can practice letting these judgments go. For example, you do not have to tell yourself, "I should not feel this way," or "I need to stop this right now." You can just notice, here is a strong feeling, and that is okay. You allow yourself to feel it without having to act or speak right away. You make a little space around the feeling, like giving it a quiet place to rest for a while. Observing feelings can be practiced anytime, in any place. You can do it when you are alone or even when you are with others. You can try it when you notice frustration, sadness, joy, or even boredom. In each moment, you are simply noticing, saying to yourself, "This is what I am feeling now." You may find that some emotions change quickly, while others stay longer. Sometimes an emotion seems to get stronger when you first notice it, but then it slowly moves away. This is not something you need to control. Your job is only to watch, not to fix. As you practice observing your feelings, you may find that you are less overwhelmed. Emotions that once seemed too big to handle now feel smaller or more temporary. When you are not battling every feeling, there is more calmness inside. You find that you are able to keep your balance even when things are difficult. This does not mean you stop feeling, but that you are not controlled by your feelings anymore. You have more room to make wise choices. For example, if anger shows up, instead of shouting or hiding it, you can pause and notice, anger is here. You might feel your body warm, your heart beat faster, or your hands become tight. You let yourself notice these things without yelling, running away, or blaming yourself. By simply watching, you let the feeling express itself in a safe way without hurting anyone or yourself. If you feel sad, you can notice the heaviness or tightness in your chest, the tears in your eyes, or the thoughts that say, "This is too hard." You watch these feelings kindly. You do not rush to make the sadness go away. You just sit with it, the same way you would sit with a friend who is hurting. Often this soft attention lets the sadness move through you until it is ready to leave on its own. Observing also helps with feelings of worry and anxiety. When your mind is busy with thoughts about the future or with many questions, you can pause and notice, worry is here. You watch your thoughts come and go. You notice your breathing, your body, and even your wish for relief. By bringing gentle awareness, you stop the worry from taking over your whole mind. You create space for calmness, even when things are not perfect. Some people fear that if they stop fighting their emotions, the feelings will become too strong and control their lives. But the truth is usually the opposite. The more you push feelings away, the stronger they become. The more you watch them, the more they change on their own. Most emotions last a short time and then leave. When you observe instead of fight, you give yourself a safe place to feel whatever comes up. Over time, this skill grows stronger. You start to trust yourself. You feel less afraid of new emotions, no matter how strong they seem. You learn that you do not have to be perfect or always in control. You are human, and all humans feel many things. With this understanding comes a soft sense of freedom and ease inside. The practice of observing feelings also helps you respond more kindly in your daily life. If someone says something hurtful, you can pause before reacting. You might notice anger or pain rise up inside, but you do not need to speak or act right away. You can let the feeling be there, watch it, and let it become smaller by itself. This can prevent arguments and make your relationship safer and more peaceful. This does not mean that you should ignore your needs or never speak about what matters. There may be times when you decide to talk about your feelings with someone close to you. But when you have observed your emotion first, you can speak with more calm and less blame. You can say, "I felt hurt when this happened," or "I am angry right now and need some time to think." This way, your words and actions come from a place of understanding, not from being lost inside your feelings. Observing feelings can also help you make better choices. When your mind is crowded with emotion, it is hard to see what is wise to do. But if you watch your feelings kindly, the strong wave slowly becomes calm. You are able to look at your situation with clear eyes. You know what matters to you and can choose actions that are true to yourself. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to notice emotions as soon as they arrive. You might be able to feel them first as a change in your breath or a tightness in your body. You notice a sad or angry thought and recognize this is the start of a strong feeling. Instead of running away or exploding, you pause and watch. You allow yourself to have the feeling, knowing that you are more than any one moment or emotion. Young people and children can learn this skill too. By teaching them to notice what they feel without judgment, you help them grow up with trust in themselves. Instead of saying, "Do not be angry" or "Stop crying," you can say, "It is okay to feel. Let us notice together." This builds a sense of safety and courage that will help them through life's hard times. And as adults, the same approach can heal old wounds and bring a new sense of peace. If you have spent many years fighting with your emotions, it can feel difficult to begin observing them. It might feel strange, or you may worry that you are doing something wrong. This is very normal. Take small steps. Notice when you feel something and simply name it to yourself gently. Right now there is sadness. Right now I feel worried. You do not need to solve anything or push it away. Just see what happens next. Sometimes you may notice resistance to this practice. You might think, if I let myself feel this, it will never end. But feelings do not last forever. As you observe them, you will see that they rise, stay for some time, and then pass away. You do not need to force this process. The simple act of watching is already enough. This skill takes time to grow. At first, you may only notice your feelings after they have already passed or after you have reacted. Over time, you catch your feelings sooner. The space between feeling and acting gets wider, and you have more choices. You begin to trust that you are not your emotions. They are only visitors, not rulers of your life. You may also find that your body feels calmer. When you stop trying to hold everything inside, your muscles relax, your breath feels easier, and your heart feels lighter. This growing calm helps you stay steady even when new challenges arise. Observing emotions can also help you forgive yourself for the past. If you remember times you acted out of anger or fear, you can look back with gentle eyes. You can say, I see now that I was hurting, and I did not know what to do. You do not have to blame yourself forever. Instead, you give yourself the care you needed and learn a new way forward. This new way does not mean you will stop having strong feelings. Every person feels happiness, pain, love, fear, and hope. But by building the habit of observing instead of fighting, you live with more truth and less struggle. You know that each emotion comes and goes on its own. You are not pulled in every direction, and you do not lose sleep worrying about having the wrong feelings. You become gentle and honest with yourself, which opens the door to gentle and honest relationships with others. In times of stress or confusion, you can return to this practice again and again. When you feel lost, you pause. You close your eyes if that feels right, notice your breath and ask, what is here right now? With this simple question, you invite kindness into your life. No matter what feelings appear, joy, fear, anger, sadness, you allow them space without being overwhelmed. Living this way, you find more ease and calm, no matter what is happening around you. You understand that you do not need to spend all your strength in a fight with emotions. You can use your energy for what matters most: listening, connecting, caring, and being present for yourself and others. By practicing the art of observing feelings, you find a steady place inside that cannot be shaken by every change. You discover a natural strength, one that does not depend on hiding, pretending, or controlling everything inside you. It is the gentle strength that comes from honesty, patience, and kindness. Each day, you become more able to meet life as it is, with open eyes and an open heart. The world inside you begins to feel safer and more peaceful. As you continue, you find that this skill changes how you see your life and your relationships. You trust yourself more, and you see others with new understanding. You know that everyone has emotions, everyone makes mistakes, and everyone wants to feel safe and accepted. Practicing observation helps you offer this safety and acceptance first to yourself, and then naturally to those around you. From here, you see that life does not need to be perfect or free from emotion for you to be happy and peaceful. You just need to be present with whatever is here, with gentleness. With each moment you practice, you grow a little more free and a little less troubled by the changing weather inside. This is how life opens up, one gentle breath and one honest feeling at a time. When you learn how to observe your feelings gently, you can begin to see something important about emotions. You might notice that no feeling stays the same for very long. If you pay close attention, you see that emotions have their own movement. A strong feeling can appear in your heart or mind, but after some time it becomes weaker and then disappears. This happens with sadness, happiness, anger, fear, and every other feeling. They all rise, show themselves, change, and then fade away. This movement is natural and does not need you to force it. From the moment you wake up each day, you can notice this change. In the early hours of the morning, you may feel tired or quiet. As the sun rises and you start your daily actions, your feelings may shift. A memory may bring a smile or a sense of sadness for just a few moments. Later in the morning, something might make you laugh or feel frustrated. When you have lunch, you may feel grateful or may be worried about what you have to do later in the day. In the afternoon, other emotions might visit you. When you see a friend, you could feel joy and comfort, and if you hear bad news, you might feel a little upset. When the hours grow late, you may feel calm, lonely, peaceful, or tired again. Each feeling comes in its own way, at its own time, and never stays exactly as it was at the start. Sometimes, certain feelings are very strong and last for some hours or even days. You might feel angry about something someone did. You might feel sad about a loss from many years ago. Some feelings do not go away quickly, but even these emotions change. One moment your sadness might be sharp, but the next it is softer, or it sits quietly in the background. Anger might feel hot and painful, but later in the day, it is only a small shadow inside you. When you observe without fighting or judging, you begin to see that all emotions move in this way. They are never permanent. This truth can bring a sense of peace. When you know that every emotion is always changing, you do not need to worry that hard feelings will last forever. If you are very sad today, you remember that sadness will change. If you feel nervous about something, you remember that fear also comes and goes. Even happiness, as wonderful as it feels, will also change and make space for something else. No feeling is your whole life. Every feeling is just a part of one moment. Allowing yourself to observe the natural rise and fall of emotions is different from trying to control or speed up this process. You do not have to make your feelings leave quickly. You do not need to push them away. When you let emotions be as they are, they have space to change and move on their own. Sometimes a feeling needs only a few moments to pass. Sometimes it stays with you until you have paid attention to it, and only then does it begin to fade away. When you watch your feelings, you let nature do the work for you. Some emotions want you to notice them before they leave. Sadness may come to show you that a part of your heart needs care. Anger might appear when you feel treated unfairly, so you see what matters to you. When you observe these feelings honestly and gently, you are able to learn from them. You become wiser because you understand that emotions are messengers, not enemies. When you accept their message, you do not need to fight. Just like the weather changes, the feelings also pass. Buddha taught that this is the natural law of emotions. He said there is nothing wrong with having strong feelings. Trouble only comes when we try to hold them too tightly or try to push them away. If you grab onto happiness and never want it to end, you may feel disappointed when it leaves. If you try to never feel pain, sadness, or fear, those feelings become heavier. Peace grows when you let everything visit and leave, without holding on or pushing away. You can practice watching the rise and fall of emotions in small ways. When you notice a feeling, pause for a moment. Notice what it feels like. Is it strong or soft? Where do you feel it in your body? What thoughts appear with it? You can say to yourself, "This is what I am feeling now." Stay with that feeling for a few breaths. Keep your attention soft and kind, not hard or tense. Then, after some time, notice if anything has changed. Maybe the tight feeling in your chest is gone, or maybe your thoughts have become quieter. Sometimes the feeling is still there, but feels different. Trust that whatever you feel will not stay forever. You can also use your breath to help you see this movement. When an emotion is strong, bring gentle focus to your breathing. Feel the cool air come in and the warm air go out. Let your breath go as slowly or as quickly as it wants. While you breathe, keep watching your feeling. If it becomes bigger, let it. If it gets smaller, let it. The breath can be a guide to help you stay with the feeling as it moves. When you notice the change in emotions, you begin to trust yourself more. You know that any feeling, no matter how painful, will dissolve on its own. If happiness comes, you enjoy it fully. If sadness comes, you allow it to be here without fear. If anger appears, you watch it rise, become hot, and then slowly cool down as the minutes pass. In each case, you learn that emotions are only temporary guests. There will be times when feelings come back again and again. You might feel angry about the same thing on different days, or sadness might return when you remember something important to you. This does not mean you are failing at observing your emotions. It only means the feeling is visiting you again. Watch it each time in the same gentle way. Sometimes, after enough visits, the emotion will finally leave for longer periods. By giving your attention without judgment, you give the feeling what it needs to move on. Some days you may notice that emotions change very quickly. You might wake up feeling peaceful, then feel annoyed in the morning, then happy at lunch, worried in the afternoon, and tired at night. These small changes are a normal part of life. By observing them all, you teach yourself to stay steady no matter what. You become less afraid of strong feelings because you know they do not stay forever. This practice works for good feelings as well. Happiness, joy, and excitement also come and go. You might feel very happy during a talk with a friend, then later feel quiet or bored when you are alone. This is not because something is wrong. It is only the natural change of emotions. By noticing every rise and fall, you learn to enjoy happiness without needing it to stay all the time. There is a kind of wisdom that grows from watching feelings change. You learn that you are bigger than any one emotion. Even on days when you feel lost or sad, a calm part of you remains, quietly watching. This gentle watcher is always with you. With practice, it becomes easier to feel calm inside, even when there is noise and change outside of you. Sometimes, people ask if it is possible to keep a good feeling forever or to make a bad feeling never return. The truth is that the mind and heart always change. No person can keep any feeling from moving or returning again. This is not a failure. It is simply how human life works. By accepting this truth, you find more ease and live with less disappointment. If you feel overwhelmed by a strong emotion that lasts a long time, you do not have to be afraid. Remind yourself that this too will change. You do not have to fix yourself or do something special. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that feelings are always moving. Each new breath is a reminder that life brings change. When you make room for this truth, you start to feel more patience with yourself and others. If a friend is worried or angry, you know their feelings will also rise and fall. If a family member is sad, you know the sadness will visit for a time and then soften. You become a comfort to the people around you because you do not expect them or yourself to be the same all the time. You may notice that your relationships become easier. When someone else is upset, you do not feel pressure to make their feelings disappear. Instead, you can listen, share time, and trust that their emotions too will rise and change in their own way. You are not responsible for fixing every feeling. You are responsible for kindness and for being present. Every day you practice accepting your emotions, letting them move, and letting them go. This habit brings a gentle feeling of freedom. Instead of being caught in the ups and downs, you see emotions as part of a larger picture. You remember that your true self is steady and open, even when your feelings change from one hour to the next. If you find yourself holding tightly to a feeling, whether it is happiness or sadness, you can ask, "Can I let this be, just for now? Can I watch how it changes instead of trying to stop it?" Each time you do this, your heart and mind become a little clearer. Each feeling becomes less frightening, and you build trust in your ability to handle whatever comes. You may find it helps to write about your feelings or talk about them with someone you trust. Sharing your feelings in a safe space helps you see their movement clearly. As you speak or write, you notice how quickly things can change. What felt heavy in the morning often feels lighter after you have named it and given it space. You can remind yourself, this feeling is not forever. It is moving, even when I do not see it. If you are caring for children, you can help them see how feelings move too. When a child is angry or sad, you can say, "I see you are sad right now. This feeling will change. Let us be with it for a while, and then we will notice when it starts to feel different." This way, children learn there is nothing wrong with any feeling, and they learn how to sit with emotions without fear. They grow up ready to meet life's changes with calm and patience. As you continue noticing your emotions, you may find new surprises. Sometimes a feeling you thought was very strong is just a small wave. Sometimes after a hard moment, you feel a deep sense of calm or even happiness because you trusted yourself to watch and wait. Other times you may feel empty or quiet inside. This too is part of the natural rise and fall. Every feeling teaches you something if you let yourself see its true movement. If you notice a feeling returning again and again, be gentle with yourself. Some emotions come back many times before they move on. They may be showing you something important about your needs, your heart, or your life. By treating yourself with care, you learn what matters most to you. You do not have to rush the process. Each visit is a step toward a deeper understanding. When you allow the movement of emotions, your whole life starts to feel more open. You do not close yourself off from happiness or sadness. You welcome every feeling, knowing it has something to show you and then will move along. Your heart feels safer and your mind feels at ease because you are not using your energy to hold everything in place. In moments of great change, like losing a loved one or facing a big challenge, trust that your pain will not last forever. Grief and loss can feel heavy, but over weeks and months, these feelings shift. Some days are easier, some are harder. The rise and fall of emotions is slower, but it still happens. Trust your own natural process and allow yourself as much time as you need. No matter where you are or how old you are, you can watch the movement of your emotions. Each day, you have new feelings. Some are easy, some are hard, but none of them are forever. Life brings change with every sunrise and every sunset. By opening your heart to this truth, you create space for healing, learning, and peace. Letting your feelings rise and fall brings new strength to your relationships, to your work, and to your daily living. When you accept the impermanence of emotions, you are not so afraid of change anymore. You step forward into your life with confidence, knowing you can meet each new feeling with honesty and care. You know that nothing is too big or too small to be noticed. You can be present with yourself and with others, trusting the flow of life as it moves through every moment, every breath, and every feeling that comes your way. When you start to trust that every feeling will come and go, life becomes less heavy. You no longer feel you must control every emotion or make every feeling good. You watch each emotion rise and fall, and you see that you are not bound to any one feeling for all time. This quiet trust gives you a new sense of freedom inside. You feel more relaxed with yourself, and you stop being afraid of what might appear in your mind or in your heart. Now, you can begin to see what it truly means to be free from the control of emotions. Freedom from emotions does not mean you will never feel sadness, anger, worry, or pain. You will still feel everything that comes with being human. The difference is that you no longer believe your emotions have the final say over how you will act, speak, or think. You notice that a feeling is present. You observe it, but you do not act against yourself or become lost in the feeling. Instead, you respond with calm, kindness, and wisdom. Before this freedom, many people feel carried away by their emotions. When anger comes, they may say things they do not mean. When sadness visits, they stop doing activities and avoid the people they care about. When fear is strong, they might not try new things or meet new people. In all these cases, it looks like emotions are in charge of every action and every choice. A person loses their own power and may feel small or weak, but with freedom, things change. This freedom starts when you truly see that you are more than your emotions. Emotions are like guests who visit you. They can be strong, loud, soft, or quiet, but none of them are you. They come, stay for a while, then leave. You begin to build a steady place inside, a place that watches every emotion but does not become the emotion. This watcher is gentle, honest, and always with you. With practice, it becomes easier to notice the space between feeling and action. When an emotion arises, You see it appear. You watch its movement. You take a few deep breaths and wait before you decide what to do. This short space of time gives you the power to choose. You are not forced to act out every emotion that comes to you. You can let anger be here, but you do not need to speak with harsh words. You can feel sadness, but you do not have to stay in bed all day. You feel fear, but you can still take small steps forward in your life. You are not pretending. You are not hiding feelings or pushing them down. Instead, you are allowing yourself to feel and also allowing yourself to choose what you will do next. Your inner watcher is now stronger than your old habits of reacting. Anytime you have a strong emotion, you remember this. I can notice this feeling and choose my action. This gentle power is true freedom. Some days are easier than others. Some feelings are strong and want to control your actions right away. If you become lost and react, you do not need to be hard with yourself. You simply notice what happened, forgive yourself, and begin again with the next feeling that comes. Over many weeks and months, you will see how much more peaceful you feel when you give yourself this habit of noticing before acting. Often, people think that being free from their emotions means not having emotions at all. This is a mistake. Real freedom is not cold or empty. You still care, you still feel deeply, and you still love. But you do this from a place of calm and honesty. You know that pain and joy will visit you, but they will not take away your inner peace or your ability to make choices. Other people may notice this calmness in you, even if you never speak about it. If you find anger rising, for example, you pause and become aware of it. You notice your heart beating faster and your breath changing. You admit, anger is here now. You let yourself feel everything that comes. You do not have to shout, blame, or act quickly. You let anger have its space, but you hold it, watch it, and allow it to change. When the wave of anger is smaller, you can ask yourself what is right to do. Maybe you decide to talk calmly. Maybe you choose to walk in silence for some time, or maybe you decide to forgive. The choice is now yours. The same is true when sadness visits. You may feel tired, heavy, or quiet. You accept that sadness is natural. You give it room. You listen to what it wants to show you, maybe a lost dream or a broken hope. But you do not sink all the way into sadness. You still get up, move your body, and do small things that bring you care. You remember that the sadness will pass. You do not force it to go, but you do not act out every tired thought either. Your calm watcher is always present, guiding you gently through the feeling. When you are free from the control of emotions, you start to trust your own mind and heart. You know that you will have both good and bad days. You know that every feeling has its own time. You are not surprised or angry with yourself when a strong emotion returns. You give it the same gentle care as always. You have found a new way to live, where feelings are allowed but not in charge. This change can help you every place in your life. At home, you may feel less likely to argue or lose your patience with family. At work or at school, you handle stress and problems with more balance and less drama. In friendships, you listen to others without trying to fix everything or hide your own feelings. People notice your steadiness and feel safe with you. Sometimes, a wave of fear visits. Maybe you face a big change, a new job, or meeting new people. In the past, fear might have stopped you. Now, you let fear be present. You name it, fear is here. You see how it feels in your body and what thoughts come up. You do not have to obey the fear. You can walk gently forward, even with fear, trusting that the feeling will become less with time. You are not ruled by fear because you know it always changes. When you have learned to observe and allow your feelings, new space opens up for understanding and wisdom. Instead of feeling small or stuck, you begin to feel open, curious, and peaceful. If an emotion is confusing, you can look inside quietly and ask, what needs care? What is true for me right now? You wait and listen, and sometimes answers come. Even if there are no answers, your gentle way with yourself brings healing. Sometimes there are old stories or beliefs inside you. Maybe someone told you when you were a child that you were wrong to feel a certain way. Maybe you learned to believe you are bad or weak because of your feelings. As you observe emotions now, You may notice these old stories come back. When they do, pause, notice them, and treat yourself with kindness. You are not your old stories. You are learning a new way of meeting each feeling. There will be moments when you make mistakes. You might speak too quickly when angry, or you might avoid a hard truth because you are afraid. If this happens, return to your observer. Notice, anger was strong in me, and I spoke without care. Fear was strong, and I stayed silent. Forgive yourself, make things right if you can, and keep practicing. Every person makes mistakes. The most important step is to begin again, calmly and softly. Real freedom also means you are open to every part of your experience. You do not run from pain, but you also do not run from happiness. You enjoy good moments fully, knowing they will rise and fade. You hold bad moments with gentle hands, knowing they are only here for a time. You give attention to every emotion, but you do not give away your power to them. Trusting the natural movement of feelings brings new strength. It gives you the chance to choose what matters and to live by your own deepest values. You become more honest. You start to see what is true for you, what you care about, and how you want to act. You're able to keep promises, finish tasks, and offer kindness, all because you are not fighting with yourself every moment. Others may see this steadiness and want to understand its source. They may ask you how you stay calm or why you do not react in the same way as before. Without preaching or forcing, you can share your simple practice, observing feelings, allowing for change, and choosing your actions carefully. You encourage others not by words, but by the quiet example you set. As you notice each feeling and make space to choose, you will also discover new joys. Life opens in small ways. Food tastes better. Music feels richer. The sky seems bigger. You meet others with more interest and care. Your favorite things bring you true pleasure because you are present with them. You are not lost in old thoughts or in a struggle with your own heart. Gradually, being free from emotional control changes your body and your mind. Tension begins to leave your muscles. Your breath becomes slower and deeper. Your thoughts are less noisy. Sleep becomes easier. You wake up ready for a new day, not weighed down by fear of what you might feel. This is a gentle process, built up day by day with your practice of noticing, feeling, and choosing. This practice does not mean you shut off from the world. You can be a part of everything, to work, laugh, play, and rest. You move through all parts of life with a heart that is steady even when emotions are strong. Your family and friends notice the change. They may begin to trust you more, come to you in their hard times, and see you as a safe place to talk. When you do feel strong pain, you may choose to sit with it for a while, to rest, or to be with someone you trust. If you feel joy, you share it, letting it brighten your day. When you are angry, you hold space for it, and then talk when you are ready. These choices grow out of your freedom. You are not running from life, nor are you lost in waves of feeling. You walk through every day with steady steps, anchored by your gentle, honest watcher inside. Even on the hardest days, you know that feelings will move if you let them. You offer patience to yourself, setting aside blame or deep worry. You know that you will have new chances, new mornings, new chances to choose again. Being free inside also means you do not need others to act in a certain way so you can be happy. You take care of your own feelings. When someone says something hard, you notice your reaction and let it pass. When plans change, you notice any tightness inside, breathe, and allow yourself space. You are not attached to everything going a certain way. This brings much peace and less trouble in your days. Freedom from emotions is not reached in a single day. It grows over many small steps and many choices. Each time you remember to watch, to pause, and to choose, you make the roots of this freedom stronger. You discover that your true self is not small or weak. You are wise, patient, and can hold whatever comes with gentle attention. By living in this way, you give a gift to everyone you meet. You bring calm, safety, and understanding. People feel less alone when they are with you. Your peace helps them find their own peace, even for just a short time. When you are not ruled by your emotions, you help create a kinder world. You can support this freedom each day with small habits. Take moments to notice your feelings. Pause before speaking or acting. Allow every feeling to visit and let it leave. Remember, you are more than any emotion and that your power to choose is always there. When you know you are not your emotions and that every feeling will rise and fall, you move through life with quiet confidence. You accept yourself as you are, with all joys and all pains. Your days are easier, your relationships are more honest, and your inner life is no longer a secret struggle. This is the simple freedom that everyone can find, one gentle step at a time. When you bring this steady and open presence to your feelings, the people around you will notice. You may not speak directly about what you are doing or talk about your changes, but the way you act and the energy you bring will touch others. Even simple things like the way you listen, how you answer questions, or how you stay calm during a stressful moment will be clear to those near you. This does not require many words or special efforts. It comes naturally from the gentle attention you now give to your own emotions. As you continue to pay attention to your feelings without judgment, you become less reactive. You do not yell when there is a problem or become closed off when someone else is upset. Instead, you pause, you breathe, you let your emotion move, and you answer kindly, or you wait until you feel ready to speak. This creates a space of calm wherever you go. Other people sense that they are not being judged, blamed, or pushed away. They feel safe in your company. Many people are used to hiding their own feelings or pretending to be happy when they are not. When they are with someone who is honest and relaxed in their presence, they feel something unusual. They feel that they can relax too. When you are calm, you create an environment where others may begin to trust their own feelings. This is not about teaching or correcting them. It happens quietly, simply by being there fully and openly. People may begin to speak to you honestly. They may share their worries, their mistakes, or their sadness. If you listen kindly, giving them the same gentle attention you give to your own emotions, they feel heard in a deep way. You do not have to say much. You just listen, perhaps nodding or saying, "I understand." They do not feel pushed to be different or to change their feelings quickly. They know they can share whatever is in their heart and that you will not try to fix everything or judge them. When someone shares a strong feeling, sometimes the most helpful thing is to just be present. People do not always need advice or solutions. Often, what they most want is to know they are not alone. When you sit with a friend or a loved one during a hard time, your calm presence gives them comfort. Your patience and kindness help them feel less afraid of their own pain. At home, your family will notice changes, even if you are not trying to change them. Children may feel more safe to speak openly about their fears or joys. They learn that it is okay to cry, laugh, or talk about what is inside. Parents who show gentle acceptance of emotion help their children grow up feeling more whole and less afraid of making mistakes. In everyday moments, you may find that arguments become shorter and less painful. People are able to listen and answer in soft voices, even when there is a disagreement. At work or in other groups, your calm way of handling emotions creates trust. Colleagues will learn that you do not get angry quickly or blame others for mistakes. You are patient when problems come. People can come to you for support, knowing you will not make them feel bad for being human. When you make a mistake, you are honest and willing to apologize, showing everyone that it is safe to be imperfect. Leaders who are steady and open in their emotions are respected because people know they are real and that they do not try to bury their struggles or pretend to be perfect. In friendships, you also notice a deeper bond. You are not waiting for your friends to keep you happy, nor do you depend on them to fix your pain. You come to them with openness, being yourself as you really are. You offer a listening ear when they need it and receive support without fear when you need help. When both people are able to share honestly, trust grows quickly. This peaceful and balanced way of living also makes it easier to forgive. When you are not attached to anger, when you allow yourself to watch the feeling come and go, you can look at a situation with more clarity. You might see that everyone makes mistakes, and that holding on to hard feelings only brings more pain. You choose words and actions that heal, not that continue a cycle of blame and hurt. You may find that over time, others begin to copy your gentle way even without meaning to. They watch you pause before speaking or see you breathe during a hard moment, and then they try it themselves. Children learn from your example. Friends pick up your calm habits. Even people you do not know very well feel better when you are present because you do not make a storm out of every emotion. This change does not mean that your life will have no problems. Every day brings new feelings and new situations, some easy, some difficult. But your honest way of handling emotions gives you strength to meet life as it is. You do not expect to be happy all the time, and you do not fear pain when it comes. You are able to hold both celebration and sadness with the same calm heart. People feel comfortable with you because you do not make them pretend. Some people may not understand this new way at first. They may expect you to act like before, or they may test your patience. If you are steady, true to yourself, and keep showing up with honest feelings, many people will come to appreciate you. If they choose not to, you do not have to take it as a fault. You stay firm in your own practice, knowing that peace does not mean everyone agrees or likes you all the time. Your presence is enough. Occasionally, you may meet those who still struggle with their emotions. When someone is angry, sad, or confused, you do not have to change or fix their feelings. You can offer quiet understanding and give them time. If it feels too hard, you can return to your own breath and notice what feelings are present for you. You support others best when you stay kind to yourself first. This gentleness includes you. Sometimes your calm presence will help others change simply by giving them hope. When a person feels that another is not afraid of emotions, they may also begin to trust their own. Over days or months, a friend who is often angry may start to pause before shouting. A family member who hides their tears may let themselves cry more freely. Your honest way is like a sign that says, it is okay to feel. It is safe to be real. This type of strength does not look for praise. It is not about being better than others. Instead, it is about being at peace with your own humanity. It means knowing that whatever emotions visit you or others, you will greet them with respect and patience. This is the best gift you can give. You offer kindness to the world, and the world seems to open a little with every gentle act. When you make mistakes, you continue to admit and repair them openly. You apologize if you were unkind or acted quickly in anger. Others respect this honesty. It gives permission for everyone to admit that life is not easy and that emotions are sometimes strong. You become a model, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to meet each day as it is. The more you allow this calmness to grow, the lighter your life feels. There is less stress about what might happen or about what others think of you. There is more space for laughter, rest, and true connection. Joy does not come from being without feelings, but from living with them in a balanced and open way. Others begin to trust you with their best and their worst moments. They want to share their stories because they feel seen and accepted. If you keep listening and responding with honesty, these relationships will grow in depth and meaning. You also become more skilled in seeing when someone needs time, when to offer words, and when silence is better. You no longer feel you must rush to solve everything or cover up hard truths. You simply stay, even when it is uncomfortable. This presence helps not only in close relationships but also with strangers or in groups. In a room full of people, your calm energy can spread without you even knowing it. You offer a quiet place where others can breathe and feel safe even for a short while. Over time, your steadiness brings more respect from your family, your community, and your co-workers. Building this calm awareness is something you do each day. When you wake up, you remember that all feelings are welcome. You are gentle with yourself when you make mistakes. If you become lost in an emotion, you notice it, breathe, and come back to your balance. Each time you do this, the foundation of your calm grows stronger. Sometimes people will ask you how you managed to stay calm or how you became so trustworthy. You can simply say that you practice watching and welcoming emotions. You remind them that everyone can learn this way. You never need to pretend that you are above anyone else. You only share your path with kindness. As you continue, more people around you may become open to their own feelings. You help create a world where everyone can find a safe place for their emotions. You are not responsible for everyone's happiness, but your presence helps. You bring a sense of calm, honesty, and patience, and others learn to rely on that energy when they need it most. Listening deeply to others becomes easier now. Instead of planning your reply or thinking about your own problems, you are able to hold space for what the other person is saying. You pay attention not only to their words, but to how they look and how they feel. You become interested in their world. People notice this difference and respond with more honesty. By showing you are present and accepting, you make it easier for those around you to stop hiding their emotions. They feel less fear and more hope. Even in silence, you help others remember that it is safe to show pain, joy, confusion, and fear. Small acts such as a gentle word, a soft look, or a patient pause show your strength. Even in hard situations, like when people are angry, you can hold your ground. You do not shout back or close off. You let the emotion be present for yourself and others, knowing that it will pass. This patience can help calm big storms. People may not remember your exact words, but they remember how they felt when they were with you. Slowly, trust grows. People will turn to you in trouble, and you will find that you are trusted even when things are uncertain. You are steady in times of change. When a new challenge comes, you feel ready to listen and learn before acting. You do not fear new feelings in yourself or in others because you have learned that everything moves and changes naturally. One day, you may realize that what you have practiced for yourself has truly touched others. You see friends support each other more gently. You see families heal old misunderstandings. You see workplaces grow calmer. You feel part of something good because you learn to be calm and honest inside yourself. This kind of presence can be offered by anyone at any moment, no matter where they are in life. It does not matter your age or your job or your history. What matters is your will to be real, your patience, and your gentle honesty with yourself and others. This is how calm awareness grows, not just in you, but in every heart you touch. Each day, as you wake up and move through your life, this presence is there for you. Each feeling that visits you is an invitation to meet it with openness and respect. Each person you meet is an opportunity to offer gentle attention. The more you do this, the more trust, respect, and calm fill your world. By being at peace with your emotions, you lead others by your simple, honest way of living, and everyone gains from this quiet strength. As you continue to offer calm, honesty, and patience to yourself and to the people around you, you may also notice another kind of change happening inside. Each time you accept your feelings instead of fighting them, your sense of strength grows. This strength is quiet and steady. It does not come from forcing yourself not to feel. It comes from knowing that you can allow each emotion, make space for it, and carry on with your life. The more you do this, the more you begin to feel balanced, even when life is not easy. Accepting your feelings does not mean you must talk about them with everyone or show every emotion you have. You do not have to share everything that happens inside you. What is important is that you stop arguing with yourself or trying to hide feelings from inside your own heart. You allow space for what is really there. You accept your feelings even if you do not like them, and you do not call yourself bad for having them. Many people think that if they accept emotions like anger, sadness, fear, or doubt, they will become weak. They may believe that true strength means never crying, never showing pain, or never feeling scared. They want to always look happy or successful to others. But if you look closely at your life, you will see that the more you try to hide and fight your feelings, the less strong you feel inside. This fight takes away your energy. It builds stress, makes your body tired, and your mind restless. Real inner strength comes from treating yourself with respect. You choose to notice when you are sad instead of pretending everything is fine. You let yourself feel tired or worried without calling yourself names. You can say silently, "I am feeling sad now, and that is all right." With this gentle self-talk, you build a deeper kind of strength that does not depend on your mood or the approval of others. If anger comes to you, you do not have to let it control what you do or say. You pause. You notice where the anger is in your body. You let it be there, even if it is strong. You do not have to act with anger or use mean words. You know you are strong enough to wait for the feeling to change before you act. This is real power, the power to choose your actions, even when strong feelings visit you. Sometimes you may feel fear, maybe about something new or unknown. Instead of running away or pretending not to be afraid, you can admit to yourself, "Fear is here in me." You feel it in your chest or in your thoughts. You breathe and give the fear a few moments. You do not have to obey the fear. You do not hide from it. You stay open and soft with yourself. Each time you do this, your fear grows smaller and your strength grows larger. There are days when you feel deep sadness or heavy emotions that take time to change. On these days, your most important strength is not to pretend you are okay. Instead, you care for yourself through the sadness. You let yourself rest. You drink water. You may go for a walk or talk to a trusted friend. You do not rush your heart to move faster than it can. You give yourself the same kindness you would give to someone you love who is hurting. It is good to remember that you do not owe anyone a public story about every feeling you have. You do not need to post about it online, tell everyone in your family, or go into great detail at work. You can hold your feelings quietly inside, being honest with yourself. You respect your own privacy by knowing that you can accept and care for your feelings without always having to show them to other people. Some feelings are too private or sensitive to share. Sometimes you do not even yet understand what you are feeling. You can wait. You can let your emotions show themselves to you in their own time. This is another kind of strength, knowing when to be quiet, when to listen, and when to wait for more clarity before taking any action or sharing your experience. If you have lived most of your life trying to be strong by hiding your feelings, it may feel strange at first to allow them. You might feel guilt or shame or worry that someone will use your feelings against you. These thoughts are common. If they show up, try to watch them kindly. Remind yourself that true strength is quiet and does not need to prove anything. You can feel afraid and still go forward. You can feel sad and still care for your needs. You grow stronger, not by being hard with yourself, but by being open and fair with yourself. It might help to keep a simple notebook or journal where you write down your feelings from day to day. You do not need to write a lot. Just a few words such as, "Today I felt angry," or "This evening I was lonely." By writing, you accept what is true for you without judgment. You remind yourself that feelings are normal. They come and they go, and none of them make you less worthy or less strong. Some days you will find your mind brings you old doubts or memories. Maybe you remember a time you were left out, or a time someone said you were weak. Instead of letting these memories hurt you again, you can talk softly to yourself. You can say, "I am not that person anymore. I am learning to care for myself." This gentle self-talk is a form of support that helps you stay balanced, even when life pushes you in hard directions. When you accept your emotions, you start to see that you are not the feeling itself. You are the one who can watch, care, wait, and choose. The feeling visits you, but you are larger than the feeling. Your steady center grows every time you practice this gentle acceptance. If someone else tries to make you feel bad for being sad or afraid, you do not have to agree. You can respect their opinion, but remember that everyone feels these things. If someone says you should just be happy or get over it, you do not need to follow this advice. You stay true to your own path. You accept that it is normal for people to misunderstand. Other people may be hiding from their own feelings and expect you to do the same. You do not need to be hard or angry with them. You can stay soft and true to yourself, showing quiet strength through your example. When anger, sadness, or fear is very strong, it can help to pause and place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply. Notice the air move in and out. Remind yourself, this is hard, but I am here for myself. This small kindness helps you calm your body and mind. With practice, you learn that you can care for your feelings no matter how strong they are. There are times when your own acceptance makes it easier to support someone else too. When you are not fighting yourself, you have more energy and care to share with others. You become a safe place for friends or family to share their feelings. You do not try to solve their problems. You listen. You stay steady. Your quiet strength helps them feel accepted and supported, just as you have learned to support yourself. In your daily routine, you may find that small events no longer upset you so much. When you accept your feelings, you let small worries come and go. You do not make every problem into something big. Instead of reacting quickly or feeling stuck, you take a breath and wait. You see more choices appear. You act with more patience and less regret. Your emotional life becomes calmer, with fewer tight knots and less pain. If you make a mistake or say something you regret, you do not need to hide from it. You acknowledge it. You say sorry if you need to. You do not punish yourself or pretend it never happened. This honesty and forgiveness is another way to show real strength. You treat yourself as you would a good friend. You also find that your sense of balance grows stronger each time you let new feelings come and go. Life will never be a straight line. There will be easy days and difficult days, hope and doubt, joy and disappointment. But with quiet acceptance, you know you can handle anything that comes. Every time you move through a storm and come out the other side, you remember your own ability to stay whole. You will see that your physical health may improve as well. When you stop fighting your emotions or stuffing them down, your body feels lighter. You breathe more easily. You have more energy. Sometimes old pains in your neck, shoulders, or stomach will start to fade. Your sleep improves. This is your body responding to your new inner balance. Other people may notice the change in you, even when you say nothing. They may comment that you seem calmer or more at peace. They may ask how you handle stress or why you do not get angry as quickly as before. You can answer honestly that you are learning to accept your feelings, let them move, and treat yourself kindly. You may want to set small reminders for yourself each day. Choose a word or phrase that helps you stay close to quiet acceptance. It can be very simple, like breathe, or let it be, or it's okay. You can write these reminders on a note and place them where you will see them, on your wall, on your phone, or anywhere special to you. Each time you see your reminder, take a slow breath and notice what you are feeling in that moment. As acceptance becomes a habit, you find that your reactions to others become more caring. You speak more kindly. You listen better. You are patient with their feelings because you have practiced patience with your own. If someone is angry or sad, you let them be. You do not try to force them to change. You do not turn away in fear or become too busy to listen. Your quiet acceptance invites others to be true to themselves too. Over the weeks and months, you will see old habits lose their power. The urge to hide, judge, or rush emotions gets weaker. Your ability to sit calmly and watch a feeling grows stronger. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes, and this builds a new sense of safety inside. You feel free, even when things are not perfect. Life will always bring new challenges and surprises. Some days will be harder than others, but the more you accept your emotions, the more balanced you become. You meet joy and pain with equal honesty. You are not pushed around by fear or sadness. You move forward with courage, knowing you are able to hold yourself through every season of life. Real acceptance does not make pain go away instantly, but it makes pain less frightening. When you treat yourself kindly, in hard times and easy times, you renew your inner strength again and again. You become more resilient. You stop waiting for everything to be easy before you feel calm. You find calm inside yourself, even in the middle of change. With each feeling that comes, you have a choice. You can fight, hide, or judge, or you can pause, breathe, and accept. Every time you choose acceptance, you grow stronger. You live more honestly and more fully. You become a friend to yourself, no matter what your emotions bring. This quiet, gentle strength supports you every day in all parts of your life and with all the people you meet. When you build a gentle and true relationship with your own emotions, it changes how you connect with the people around you. Every day, you have many chances to share life with others. You speak to family, friends, people at work, people at school, or neighbors you might see in your community. Each of these moments gives you a way to practice being honest, open, and kind, both to yourself and to those you meet. As you care for your feelings gently inside, you become more aware of what is happening in the hearts of others. You begin to listen in a new way. When someone is upset or worried, you are not quick to tell them to be stronger or to hide their feelings. You remember how it felt for you to be accepted, so you give that same acceptance to the person in front of you. You listen without judgment and let them know you hear their words and understand their feelings. Real listening is simple but powerful. It means being quiet and letting someone speak without interrupting. It means not thinking of your own answer right away, but paying full attention to what is being shared. Your body language can show that you are present by turning your body toward the person, looking gently into their eyes, or giving a nod. When you listen deeply, the other person feels safe and understood, even if you do not say much in reply. You may find that your patience grows in conversations. When someone is angry, you do not become angry in return. If a friend shares sadness, you do not rush them or try to give fast solutions. You can say things like, "I am here with you," or "It is okay to feel what you feel." These simple words tell them they have a safe place with you, a place where their feelings are not wrong or too much. Because you have learned to watch your own feelings gently, you no longer judge others quickly. You understand that every person has private struggles. You know that even cheerful people can hurt inside, and even quiet people have strong feelings. When you meet someone who is upset, angry, shy, or scared, you are able to see past the emotion to the whole person. You do not label people with names. You understand each person has a story behind their feelings, just like you do. In your family life, you might notice that sharing your real self helps others drop their masks as well. When you speak honestly about your day, your worries, or a time you felt uncertain, you invite honesty in return. Children learn by watching you. They start to understand that it is safe to be real. They do not have to hide their tears or pretend to be happy every moment. You teach them, little by little, that every emotion is allowed. If a family member becomes angry, you do not add more hurt by shouting or blaming. You pause, breathe, and listen. If you do make a mistake and say something unkind, you take responsibility and apologize. You show your family that it is normal to have feelings, normal to make mistakes, and normal to start again with kindness. Respect grows stronger when you handle feelings this way. Whether in families or friendships, people come to trust that you will not use their feelings against them. They know you will keep their secrets and support them even when they feel weak. You give others the gift of being themselves, just as you give it to yourself. In friendships, this trust makes your connection deeper. You do not have to play roles or hide behind jokes. You can say, "Today I am tired," or "I feel sad about something." Friends respond to this honesty with care, and soon they begin to open up about their own feelings too. You support each other in new ways, not just sharing fun or happy times, but also giving support when life is hard. At work, your way of relating to emotions helps the whole group. People feel safer when someone does not hide or judge. They are more willing to speak their truth, to ask for help, or to say, "I am having a hard day." When this trust grows, cooperation gets easier. Conflicts can be solved with less blaming and more listening. Mistakes do not turn into shame. Instead, people learn together. Because you do not rush to judge, you also hold back from advice unless someone asks for it. Instead of jumping in with solutions, you give people space to find their own answers. You show with your patience that you believe in their ability to grow and solve problems. When you do offer ideas, you can do so gently, saying, "Would you like some help?" Or, "I have an idea if you want to hear it." This respect builds more trust. Understanding your own feelings does not mean you never feel pain, disappointment, or anger in relationships. You will still have hard moments. Sometimes a misunderstanding will hurt you. Sometimes people you love will say or do things that cause pain. Now, however, you know how to face those moments honestly. You allow yourself to feel the emotion, and you take time before responding. By doing this, you do not make pain more than it already is. During conflict, you may choose to pause and explain your feelings in simple words, like, "I feel hurt by what you said," or "I am angry because I do not feel heard." These honest statements are clear and not blaming. They open the door to real conversation and understanding. When both people can share in this way, problems are solved more quickly. Apologies can be given, solutions can be found. If a relationship continues to feel unsafe or one-sided, you may notice what you need to feel well. You might decide to speak to a person less often or to ask for space and time on your own. Because you trust your own emotions, you can set limits in a gentle way. You are firm without being hard. Your boundaries are a gift, protecting your balance without pushing others away with coldness or anger. Many people are afraid to talk about feelings because they believe it will make relationships weaker. The truth is the opposite. When people share their true feelings with each other, without blame or judgment, the bond grows stronger. People feel seen and heard, and loneliness fades. Even when feelings are hard to share, the act of sharing is a seed of trust and closeness. If you feel uncomfortable in a group or with someone new, you can use your self-awareness to stay balanced. You do not need to perform, to seek approval, or to hide your feelings. You can smile if you want, or stay quiet if you need space. You listen to your heart and body and choose how much to share. This quiet courage is noticed by others, even when you do not speak. Listening to others with deep attention helps not just the person in front of you, but you as well. You learn about different lives, different backgrounds, and different ways of facing pain. Your world grows larger, you become less afraid of difference, and more ready to support those who are unlike you. You see the shared humanity in each person, no matter their role, age, or past. There may be times when you feel judged or misunderstood by others, even when you are honest about your feelings. In these moments, you remember to accept your own emotions, to allow yourself any sadness or confusion. You do not have to close your heart. You can seek comfort from trusted people or take time alone to care for your feelings. This self-care helps you return to others with more peace. Honest emotions improve every kind of relationship. Children raised in honest homes grow into adults who are kind to themselves and to others. Partners who share real feelings solve problems more easily and feel safer with each other. Friends who support each other through good times and bad feel closer with every year. Workers and leaders who show kindness when stress is high build teams that trust each other. This does not mean that relationships are always happy or that every moment feels perfect. There will always be hard conversations, misunderstandings, and painful goodbyes. But when you use honesty and care, you bring healing and safety. Even when you leave a job, say goodbye to an old friend, or experience loss, the gentle way you handle emotions helps you move through these times with less regret and more understanding. In groups and communities, your quiet acceptance spreads. People notice who listens, who is steady, who does not rush. Sometimes you become the one others come to with their struggles. You may be asked for support or advice. You show them that all feelings are welcome and that people can be themselves without fear of shame. In this way, you help create a safer and more kind world. If you find yourself tired or overwhelmed by others' emotions, you can take time for yourself. It is always healthy to rest, to be alone, or to recharge. When you return, you bring more care and more calm to your relationships. Taking care of your own feelings first gives you energy to be present for others. Each relationship gives you many chances to learn. With each honest conversation, each time you listen instead of judge, you become better at understanding feelings. You become more able to see when someone is struggling, even when they try to hide it. You learn how to ask gentle questions, how to give time and space, and how to show love without pressure. You learn to say thank you for every lesson, even the hard ones. You know that being honest in relationships is not always easy, but it is always worth it. You celebrate each time someone trusts you with their feelings. You remember to thank the people who listen to your heart too. In your life, you will see that honest and caring relationships also help you know yourself better. When you share with someone who is kind, you see new sides of yourself. When you listen to someone's story, you find parts of your own story reflected. This gives life more meaning and brings more joy each year. Some people will go through life without ever opening up to their deepest feelings. Others will learn with practice that real connection only comes when people are true to themselves and each other. Every small act of honesty adds to a larger sense of love, safety, and respect for all. You do not need to rush or try to change every relationship at once. You can take small steps. Maybe start with one friend, or try listening more closely to a family member. Use a soft voice with a person at work. Each day brings fresh chances to be real and to accept others as they are. In every hour, every day, new emotions show themselves in you and in those you meet. By accepting them, being true, and listening deeply, you build bridges that last through good times and bad. You make it possible for trust and kindness to grow, one conversation and one feeling at a time. This honest way does not protect you from pain, but it does help to heal pain when it comes. It does not make others perfect, but it helps you support them as they learn and change. And it makes your own heart more steady, more loving, and more wise every year and every day. Living this way, you create gentle and safe places for everyone, including yourself. It is a life of deep connection, with yourself first and then with the world. Honest relationships, built on patient listening and open feelings, are among the best gifts you can give and receive. They fill each moment with more meaning and each year with more peace. When you live each day accepting emotions in yourself and others, your world becomes quieter and your life takes on a warmth that is gentle and deep. The care you have given to your feelings, your body, and your mind becomes a natural part of how you walk, speak, and relate to everyone around you. You do not have to plan to be peaceful or to control every reaction. The trust and kindness you have built are simply there, helping you to move with honesty through every moment. Being true to your emotions does not mean every day feels easy or that you will always feel happy. Some mornings you may wake up with sadness in your chest or a heavy feeling in your mind. Other mornings you may be full of hope or energy. You understand now that none of these states is final and that your strength is not measured by how often you feel good, but by how fully you accept your state as it really is. This way, you stop fearing difficult feelings because you trust in your ability to meet them with care instead of resistance. When you move through your day, joy and sadness are treated as equal visitors. You give your happiness space, smiling at the small things you enjoy, not because you want to hold on to happiness forever, but because you know it is precious just as it is. Later, as you feel trouble or discomfort, you bring the same kind of gentle attention. You are not anxious to change pain or to make it disappear quickly. You breathe and remind yourself that all feelings will rise and fall. By moving through life in this way, you are teaching yourself what it means to be truly strong. Sometimes you may notice that you make mistakes. You may speak a harsh word, lose your patience, or get carried away by worry or fear. These moments no longer make you ashamed or full of regret. Instead, you see them as part of being human. You remember to treat yourself the way you would treat a close friend. If you need to apologize, you do so calmly. If you need to rest, you allow yourself time to recover. In this way, even mistakes become opportunities to practice kindness. As days and months pass, your view of both yourself and others becomes softer. You are not as quick to judge someone else's reaction or emotion. You remember that every person is carrying their own history, pain, joy, and hopes. You look with patience and you offer your presence instead of solutions when people open up to you. Your relationships grow deeper because trust is no longer based on pretending or hiding. You are real with others, and so they are real with you. Your life at home changes as everyone learns to feel safe, to share thoughts and feelings, and to rest when emotions run high. If you are caring for children, your gentle attention teaches them that every emotion is normal. They do not have to be ashamed to cry or to ask for support. They know they can speak about what hurts and what brings them joy without the fear of being told to be strong or stop feeling. This healing way moves from you to every heart in your home. At work, your whole team benefits when you lead by listening and refuse to judge others by their bad days. Small arguments and mistakes are handled gently and quickly because you and your colleagues or leaders understand that being human is more important than being perfect. The respect you earn in this way is lasting because it is given freely, not won or demanded. As the years go by, you look back at old habits of hiding from emotion or pretending everything was fine. You understand now that those habits built walls, not bridges. The new way you have learned, where emotion is allowed to come and go, where honesty and care are your guide, opens many doors in life. Opportunities for real happiness and honest friendship come more often. You do not need to chase after approval or fear losing yourself in struggle. Happiness, in this view, is simple and clear. It does not depend on having perfect days or always getting what you want. It comes quietly and gently, from knowing you are at peace, even if life gives you challenges. When pain, disappointment, or loss arrive, you do not turn away. You take time with your feelings, listening to what they need, trusting that the deepest part of you will remain whole. You also see that the way you treat yourself becomes a foundation for how you treat others. When you accept your own pain, you can accept pain in the people close to you. When you forgive your mistakes, you are quick to forgive others too. Your voice grows softer, your touch more gentle, and your love becomes more real and less afraid. When challenges appear, when you move homes, lose a job, face illness, watch someone you love struggle, or say goodbye to a friend, you return to what you have learned. Welcome every feeling, watch it with patience, and let it move in its own time. Life will bring many new emotions, some never felt before, and your practice will welcome these as well. There may be days when you feel lost or tired, when doubt is strong, or when hope seems far away. On these days, your gentle habit of acceptance and your memory of past strength will carry you. You will have faith that healing can grow again. As you relate to more people, you bring the kindness you have grown in yourself into every conversation. You no longer need to hide your struggles or force others to explain theirs. You accept people as they are and let them move at their own pace. Listening fully, you help others remember that there is warmth and safety in every real connection. This calm, patient way changes communities, teams, and even strangers. With each small act of respect, the world around you grows a little more peaceful. There are moments when old pains return or strong emotions rise up quickly. With practice, you know now to pause, breathe, and witness the feeling, knowing it will leave just as others have before. You understand you are always learning, always growing, whether you are young or old. You begin to trust in the movement of emotions and the goodness of patience. Reflecting on all that you have gained, you see that the quiet strength and lasting joy in your life did not come from controlling or hiding how you felt. True happiness grew as you learned to notice and gently accept each emotion, letting it move in its own natural way. You learned that being human means having many feelings, and that none of them are shameful or dangerous when met with care. Through these days, you practiced listening deeply to yourself, noticing what your body and mind were feeling, and waiting before acting. You allowed emotions to rise, move, and fall, neither pushing them away nor holding on too tightly. You understood that your inner calm was free from the ups and downs of each passing mood or thought. You grew in your ability to be patient, to ask for support when needed, and to respect your own limits, knowing that needing rest or help does not mean weakness. As you related to others, you built trust and understanding by listening, by sharing honestly, and by refusing to judge. Your relationships became stronger and safer. Children looked to you as an example of gentle acceptance. Friends trusted you. Workmates respected your balance. Your own sense of balance grew, as did your confidence that you could face whatever life brought. You realized that healing and strength are possible for everyone. They come not from fighting, but from welcoming and staying present. As you learn to sit with pain, to allow joy, to forgive yourself, and to be steady in storms or joys, your whole life changed slowly, gently, and for the better. By bringing this gentle wisdom to all parts of your life, you found calm that no outside trouble could break. You did not wait for others to give you peace, but found it inside through honesty and patience. This way of living brings together respect, kindness, listening, patience, and gentle strength. Nothing special needs to be added. Being true and gentle with yourself and with others is the heart of lasting happiness and true emotional strength, and it is always within reach, no matter where you are or how you feel. In summary, throughout this whole journey, you learned that emotions are a normal part of being alive and that fighting or hiding your feelings only creates more pain. You saw the cost of hiding emotions and discovered a better way through gentle observation. The teachings of the Buddha showed that calm attention, not resistance, brings peace and real understanding. By practicing watching emotions and allowing them to rise and fall, you saw yourself become free from their control. Calmness in you created trust and safety for others. Acceptance brought personal strength and better relationships. You learned to listen deeply and respond with kindness. Happiness is not perfect days, but honest days, and true emotional strength comes from letting every feeling be seen, accepted, and gently released. The simple way of gentle, honest, and open-hearted living is what brings lasting calm, strong relationships, and happiness that does not depend on anything outside yourself.